glad you joined us for another lost treasure hunting video from LostTreasureStories.com and TreasureHuntingOnline.com. And I'm going to invite you to visit those websites. Take a look at our free Lost Treasure Tales Club if you like to read about treasure hunting stories. I'd be happy to email you a new story every week, about once a week. And today our story is going to be out of Kansas, Rooks County, Kansas. And we're going to be talking about a farmer by the name of Andry Brown. That's A-N-D-R-Y, Andry Brown. And Mr. Brown had a habit of burying his money in different locations on his farm. And this is a Thanksgiving edition. This incident happened on November 24th, 1912 that we're going to be talking about today. This document that I'm reading from is almost 100 years old. And on this day, before this date, a few days before this date, Mr. Brown was in court, had to go to trial because he attacked a boy with a knife, a boy that he thought had stolen $1,500 of his money. He thought the boy saw him bury the money on his farm and came in at night and stole it. But Andry believes somebody knew of the hiding place for his money and visited the farm at night and dug up the $1,500. Brown thought it was a neighbor boy that saw him dig the hole. Now, you know, at the trial, he was found that there was no evidence that he did anything except threaten the boy, so he was let go. So, you know, back I guess in 1912, if you chased a child with a knife, but you didn't mean to do any harm, you just wanted to threaten him, that was okay. It wasn't against the law. I wouldn't try it nowadays. You probably wouldn't be going home right away. But back then, like I say, the evidence at the trial proved that there was no evidence that he's going to actually hurt the boy, that he's just threatening him, so everything's okay, so they let Mr. Brown go home. A few days after that, though, Mr. Brown had to go back to trial. He had to go see a probate judge on a charge of lunacy. His neighbors knew that Mr. Brown had buried money. In the trial, it came out, the trial when he was threatening the boy, it came out that he was burying money on the farm. And apparently people in that area thought that was, you know, a little bit off your rocker to do that. So he had to go to trial. Mr. Brown had to go to trial on charge of lunacy. Well, at the trial, Mr. Brown's own words, according to this document, was, "I prefer to do my banking," he said recently, when he was called before the probate judge. So now Mr. Brown hid his money in several different locations on the farm. Maybe he just forgot where he buried this $1,500. You might be surprised that if you bury your money in several different locations, it can get tricky to find each and every one of them. So it's not all that uncommon for people to really think they know exactly where they buried their money, but it's not always right where they thought it was. So, maybe somebody visited his farm, dug up that $1,500. Maybe they didn't. We're talking about a whole lot more money in this story. This was just this particular $1,500. Of more interest to us as treasure hunters is something else that came out during the trial when he attacked the boy. It came out of the trial that Brown is one of the wealthiest men in Rooks County, and he actually owned 320 acres of ground, you know, a pretty good chunk of ground. But they said half of his wealth was buried on his farm. And according to these documents and research, neighbors believe that probably $25,000 in golden currency is hid away in the ground along Medicine River. Okay, that would be called Medicine Creek now. Nowadays, remember this is back in 1912, but Medicine River crossed over Andry Brown's land. And once this document, another document is stating that once word got out around the county, Brown he never left his farm after that. Never did leave his farm because he thought thieves might come in and locate the hiding place for his gold money. So he continued to bury his money. How much? Neighbors estimate at $25,000 in gold, in currency. If half of it was gold, maybe $12,000 in gold. That was at 1912 prices. With the price of gold nowadays, it would be substantially more. A little bit of research in the county land records office and plat maps would show you exactly where Mr. Brown's place was. It used to be known as Medicine Township. Those townships in Kansas, there in Rooks County, have all been changed since then. The names of them have been changed. It's now known as Township 1. So it shouldn't be real hard to figure out exactly where Mr. Andry Brown lived. He wasn't married. He didn't have any kids. So in other words, when he died, his hiding places, that money's probably still there. He didn't give it to anybody. There was no wills. He wasn't, like I say, he wasn't married, had no children. He lived on his own for years and years there in the Medicine Valley. So that's your little Thanksgiving treasure tip. If you live in that area in Rooks County, Kansas, be a very, very good place to take that metal detector out. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoyed the story.